8 Little Frogs' Big Leap. Early one sunny morning, 8 little frogs sat on lily pads by the sparkling pond. They dreamed of making the biggest leap ever, from their favorite lily pad all the way to the tall, green reed on the other side. Each frog felt a flutter of excitement and a tiny bit of nervousness. "Can we really do it?" asked Flicker, the smallest frog. "We can if we try together," said Hopper, the bravest of them all. They all smiled and wiggled their toes, ready for the big adventure. One by one, the frogs practiced their jumps. Bouncy jumped high and landed with a splash, giggling as water droplets flew everywhere. Jumpy tried a long leap and tumbled into a pile of soft moss, making everyone laugh. Twinkle hopped carefully, then zipped quickly, surprising her friends with how far she went. Each frog showed a special way of jumping, and they cheered for one another, feeling braver with every leap. Finally, it was time for the big leap. The 8 little frogs lined up, ready to jump together. 1, 2, 3, big leap, they shouted. They pushed off their lily pads with all their might and soared through the air. For a moment, everything was still and bright, and their hearts felt light as feathers. Then, plop! They all landed safely on the soft, green reeds, laughing and hugging. They had done it, the biggest leap ever together. After their big leap, the frogs rested on the reeds, feeling proud and happy. They looked at the pond and smiled, knowing that with friends by their side, they could do anything. From that day on, the 8 little frogs told stories about their big leap, inspiring other pond creatures to try new things and believe in themselves. And every morning, the sun rose just a little brighter over the sparkling pond, as if cheering for their brave hearts. The Happy Hedgehog's Day. Once upon a time, in a sunny woodland, there lived a happy little hedgehog named Henry. Today was a very special day, Henry's birthday. When he opened his eyes, the sun was shining bright, and the birds were singing sweet melodies. "What a perfect day for an adventure," he squeaked with joy. He stretched his tiny paws and rolled out of his cozy bed made of leaves and moss. Henry was ready to celebrate. Henry scurried out of his home and into the colorful forest. He picked bright flowers and gathered yummy berries. As he danced from flower to flower, he spotted his best friend, Bella the bunny. "Happy birthday, Henry," Bella exclaimed, hopping over with a big basket of delicious carrots. "Let's have a party." Henry's heart filled with happiness as they planned the best birthday celebration ever. Soon, they met Freddie the fox, who wanted to join the fun. "I can help with the games," he said with a sly grin. Then, Tina the tortoise slowly waddled over, bringing a special cake made of tasty leaves. "I baked this just for you, Henry," she said proudly. Now, with all his friends gathered, Henry felt the warmth of friendship all around him. They sang songs, played hide-and-seek, and danced with the butterflies. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with shades of pink and orange, Henry felt grateful. Surrounded by laughter and love, he knew this was the best birthday ever. "Thank you, everyone," he said, his heart bursting with joy. They all cheered, "Happy birthday, Henry." Together, they watched the stars twinkle, knowing that every day could be happy when shared with friends. The Little Lawrence's Goldfinch's Song. In a sunny forest, there lived a little goldfinch named Lawrence. He had a dream. Lawrence wanted to sing the sweetest song that the forest had ever heard. Every morning, he would practice. He chirped and twirled, but his song just didn't sound right. "Oh, I wish I could sing beautifully," he sighed, fluttering his tiny wings. One day, while practicing, Lawrence met a fluffy rabbit named Benny. "What's wrong, little friend?" Benny asked, twitching his nose. Lawrence told him about his dream. "Let's gather some friends, we can help you," Benny exclaimed. Excited, Lawrence nodded, flapping his wings with joy. Soon, the wise old owl named Ollie and the playful squirrel named Sammy joined in. "We can help you find the right notes," Ollie hooted. Sammy danced around, saying, "Let's have a music party." With their encouragement, Lawrence felt brave. Together, they sang and danced. Lawrence tried again, and this time his song began to sparkle. As the sun began to set, the forest filled with the delightful sound of laughter and song. Lawrence sang his heart out, and the animals cheered. "Your song is beautiful, Lawrence," they shouted. In that moment, Lawrence realized that it wasn't just about being perfect. It was about sharing joy with friends. The Rainbow of Colors. Once upon a time, in a cozy little village, there lived a girl named Lily. She loved colors. Red, blue, green, and yellow, each one made her heart sing. One sunny day, while picking flowers in the meadow, Lily spotted something shimmering in the sky. It was a beautiful rainbow. "Hello, little girl," the rainbow called down. "Would you like to join me on a colorful adventure?" Lily jumped with joy. "Oh, yes, please," she exclaimed. The rainbow smiled wider and swooped down to meet her. "Let's explore the land of colors." With a whoosh, they flew together over fields of flowers that danced in the wind. Each flower was a different shade, creating a magical rainbow carpet below them. They landed beside a sparkling blue lake where the water reflected every color of the rainbow. "Look," said the rainbow, "every color is special. Red is bold, yellow is sunny, and blue is calm." As Lily watched, she saw fish leap out of the water, splashing colors everywhere. "Wow," she gasped. "It's like a color party." Then the rainbow took Lily to a tall green hill. "See those clouds?" it asked. "They can change colors too." With a flick of its rainbow sparkles, the clouds turned pink and purple. Lily laughed and twirled around. "I love colors," she shouted. The rainbow nodded. Together, we create a beautiful world. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with warm oranges and soft purples, Lily knew it was time to go home. "Thank you for the adventure," she said, hugging the rainbow. "I'll always remember the magic of colors." The rainbow smiled and whispered, "Whenever you see me in the sky, remember that every color is a part of you." The Friends of Sunny Street. Once upon a time, on a sunny little street, lived three best friends, Benny the bunny, Tilly the tortoise, and Sammy the squirrel. Benny loved to hop high in the air. Tilly took her time, slowly exploring every flower. Sammy, with his fluffy tail, dashed around collecting acorns. Together, they made Sunny Street the happiest place in the world. Every morning, they would meet under the big oak tree to plan their adventures. One day, they decided to have a treasure hunt. Benny said, "Let's find the biggest acorn in the park." Tilly nodded with her wise eyes, and Sammy squeaked, "I'll race you there." Off they went, hopping, crawling, and dashing down Sunny Street, searching high and low. They peeked behind bushes, under rocks, and even in the pond. Suddenly, Benny spotted something shiny under a big, leafy tree. "Look!" he shouted. They all rushed over, and there it was, a huge, glittering acorn. They cheered, jumping with joy. "This is the best treasure ever!" Sammy exclaimed. They decided to share it, making it a symbol of their friendship. From that day on, the friends of Sunny Street knew that the best treasures were not just shiny acorns, but the adventures they shared together. Every day was a new chance to explore, laugh, and make memories. And as the sun set, they promised to always be the best of friends, no matter what adventures lay ahead. Lily's Lovely Lion. One sunny morning, Lily was playing in her backyard when she spotted something soft and fluffy under the big oak tree. It was a lovely lion, bigger than any toy she had ever seen. His golden mane shone in the sunlight, and his gentle eyes looked right at her. Lily reached out her hand, and to her surprise, the lion smiled and blinked. "Hello, Lily," he said in a warm, friendly voice. Lily laughed with delight, excited to meet such a wonderful new friend. The lovely lion told Lily he was here to take her on a magical adventure. With a joyful roar, he gently lifted Lily onto his back, ready to explore. They galloped through colorful forests where the leaves sparkled like jewels and butterflies danced around them. Lily felt the wind in her hair and the sun on her face as they laughed and played. Everywhere they went, new animal friends appeared to join their fun. A singing bird, a hopping bunny, and even a tiny turtle waving hello. At the end of their adventure, the lovely lion brought Lily back to her backyard. He gave her a soft, warm hug and said, "Whenever you want, just close your eyes and I'll be here for another magical day." Lily smiled big and hugged him back tightly. She waved goodbye to her new friend, knowing that her wonderful lion would always be ready for fun and friendship. And from that day on, every time Lily looked at the big oak tree, she felt a little sparkle of magic in her heart. The Little Puffin's Beak. Once upon a time, on a windy cliff by the sparkling sea, a little puffin named Poppy hatched from her egg. But oh, Poppy's beak was very tiny and different from all the other puffins. While her friends had big, bright orange beaks, Poppy's was small and colorful like a rainbow. She wondered if she could ever play and fly like them with such a funny little beak. Poppy tried to catch fish like the others, but her tiny beak made it tricky. She felt a little sad and sat on the edge of the cliff. Suddenly, a friendly seagull swooped down and said, "Your beak is special, Poppy. You can do things we cannot." Poppy blinked in surprise. Could her little beak really be special? With a big puffin smile, Poppy tried again. This time, she picked up tiny seashells and helped a little crab stuck under a pebble. Her small beak was perfect for gentle, careful jobs. Her Puffin friends clapped their wings and cheered, happy to see Poppy's bright smile and clever ways. That day, Poppy learned something wonderful. Being different made her special and helped others in ways big beaks could not. She flapped her little wings with pride, ready for new adventures. And from that moment on, Poppy's tiny, colorful beak was the happiest beak on the whole windy cliff by the sea. The Happy Hoary Redpoll's Melody. In a quiet forest covered with sparkling snow lived a little hoary redpoll named Ruby. Ruby had soft white feathers that blended with the winter snow, but what made her special was her happy song. Every morning, Ruby would perch on a pine branch and sing a cheerful melody that danced through the chilly air. Her song was so bright and joyful that even the cold, sleepy forest seemed to wake up and smile. One day, as Ruby sang her happy tune, the forest animals began to listen. A curious rabbit twitched its nose, a shy squirrel stopped its busy gathering, and a gentle deer lifted its head from the snow. Ruby's melody floated like a warm hug through the cold air, making their hearts feel light and bright. The animals gathered closer, excited to hear Ruby's beautiful song that made the winter day feel like spring. Ruby noticed how happy her song made everyone and felt a little flutter in her heart. She fluffed up her feathers and sang even louder, her melody twirling and swirling like snowflakes in the breeze. The animals clapped their paws and hooves, and the forest seemed to sparkle even more. Ruby realized that sharing her happy melody was like sharing a little bit of sunshine, even on the coldest days. From that day on, every morning was filled with Ruby's happy hoary redpoll melody. The forest was never quiet or cold for long, because Ruby's song brought warmth and smiles to all. And whenever someone felt chilly or lonely, Ruby's cheerful music was there to remind them that even in winter, happiness can bloom with a little song and a lot of heart. The Christmas Carol of Charlie and Chloe. One chilly December evening, Charlie and Chloe found a curious little book under the Christmas tree. It wasn't an ordinary book. It sparkled with tiny stars and hummed softly when they touched it. As they opened it, they heard a gentle melody, the very first notes of a magical Christmas carol. Suddenly, the snowflakes outside began to twirl and dance, and the Christmas lights on the house flickered to life with bright, joyful colors. Excited, they sang the carol together, and to their surprise, the snowmen in the yard began to wiggle their carrot noses and sing along. The candy canes on the porch started to twirl like ballerinas, and the stars on the tree shimmered brighter than ever. Charlie and Chloe laughed as the magic filled the air, making their whole world twinkle with holiday cheer. As the carol reached its happiest part, a gentle snowflake floated down and landed softly on Chloe's nose. It sparkled and grew until it became a tiny, shimmering fairy. She smiled and said, "Thank you for singing the Christmas carol. Because of you, the magic of the season will shine bright all night." Then, with a sprinkle of fairy dust, the whole neighborhood glowed warmly, wrapped in a cozy blanket of holiday magic. Charlie and Chloe hugged each other with big smiles, feeling the true spirit of Christmas glowing inside their hearts. They knew this was a Christmas they would always remember, a carol that brought their world to life with laughter, music, and magic. And from that night on, whenever they sang the special carol, the magic would return, filling every Christmas with wonder and joy. Spring is here with Lily and Leah. One sunny morning, Lily, the little white bunny, woke up to the soft sounds of birds singing outside her cozy burrow. She twitched her nose and saw bright colors peeking through the grass. "Spring is here," she whispered happily. She hopped outside and saw her best friend, Leo the orange kitten, chasing fluttering butterflies near the flower garden. "Come play with me, Leo," Lily called. Together, they decided to explore the magic of spring all around them. As Lily and Leo wandered through the meadow, they found bright yellow daffodils nodding in the breeze and little bees buzzing busily from flower to flower. "Look at the bees, Leo. They're helping the flowers grow," said Lily with a big smile. Leo watched the bees closely and tried to be very quiet so he wouldn't scare them away. The friends felt happy to see how everything was waking up and becoming bright and warm again. Suddenly, a gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of blossoms, and Leo spotted a tree full of pink cherry flowers. "Let's go see the blossom tree," he said excitedly. They reached the tree just as petals began to flutter down like soft pink snow. Lily twirled around, catching petals on her nose, and Leo tried to catch them with his paws. The friends laughed and danced, feeling the magic of spring all around them. As the sun started to set, Lily and Leo sat by a sparkling little pond, watching frogs hop and dragonflies zoom above the water. "Spring is full of wonderful surprises," said Lily softly. Leo purred in agreement, feeling happy and sleepy after their adventure. They promised to explore more of spring's magic together every day. With hearts full of joy, they knew that this bright season would bring many more fun adventures soon. The Schoolyard of Wonder. Every day, Lulu went to the Schoolyard of Wonder, where nothing was quite like a normal playground. The trees whispered secrets, and the flowers danced when the wind sang. Lulu loved to run under the giggling branches, feeling the soft grass tickle her toes, and looking up at the sky painted with fluffy clouds shaped like friendly animals. Her eyes sparkled with excitement because she never knew which magical surprise awaited her next. One sunny morning, Lulu noticed a new path she hadn't seen before. It was lined with tiny glowing stones that twinkled like stars. Curious, she stepped onto the path and followed it until she reached a shimmering rainbow slide twisting down from the tallest tree. "Wow!" Lulu gasped, her heart pounding with excitement. She climbed up carefully and whooshed down with a happy scream, landing softly in a pile of fluffy leaves that smelled like sweet candy. After her thrilling slide, Lulu met a tiny bunny wearing glasses and a little backpack. "Hello," said the bunny in a soft voice. "I'm Benny, the schoolyard guide. Would you like to see the secret garden?" Lulu nodded eagerly, and Benny hopped ahead, leading her through a gate made of twinkling vines. Inside, the flowers sang lullabies, and the trees grew sparkling fruits that tasted like sunshine and giggles. Lulu picked a glowing apple and took a big bite, feeling happiness bubble inside her like a sparkling fountain. As the day ended, Lulu sat on a soft mushroom seat, watching the sun paint the sky in pink and orange. She felt her heart full of wonder and joy. The Schoolyard of Wonder wasn't just a place to play. It was a world where dreams came alive and every moment was a new adventure. Lulu knew she'd come back tomorrow to find even more magic hiding in the leaves, the flowers, and the laughter all around her. The brave little seal's flipper. In the chilly blue waters of the Arctic, Sammy the little seal swam happily with his friends. But Sammy had one flipper that was a little different. It was bigger and rounder, and sometimes he worried it wouldn't let him swim as fast as the others. Every day, Sammy watched the other seals splash and dive, wondering if he could be just as brave and quick. One sunny morning, a little fish got stuck under a floating ice chunk. The fish was scared and couldn't swim free. Sammy saw this and felt a flutter in his heart. He knew his special flipper could help. With a big splash and a wiggle, Sammy pushed the ice chunk carefully, making a little path for the fish to swim away happily. His friends cheered, amazed at how brave he was. From that day on, Sammy loved his special flipper more than ever. It helped him explore, play, and help his friends in ways no one else could. Sammy learned that being different was a wonderful kind of brave. And every time he swam with a happy splash, the whole ocean seemed to sparkle just for him. The happy northern cardinal's crest. Ruby the northern cardinal loved her bright red crest. Every morning, she would sing a happy song from the top of the tallest tree. Her shiny feathers sparkled in the sunlight, and all the forest friends smiled when they saw her. Ruby felt very proud and joyful because her crest made her feel special. One windy day, a sudden breeze blew through the forest. Whoosh! A few of Ruby's crest feathers floated gently away like tiny red leaves. Ruby blinked in surprise and felt a little worried. "Where did my feathers go?" she chirped softly. She decided to follow the breeze and find her lost feathers. Ruby's friends joined her on the adventure. Sammy, the squirrel, scampered along the branches, and Bella the bunny hopped beside her. Even Blue, the tiny bluebird, flew overhead to look out for the feathers. Together, they searched under bushes, behind trees, and near the sparkling stream. After a fun day of searching, Ruby found her feathers caught on a soft patch of moss. She smiled brightly, feeling happy inside and out. "Thank you, friends," she sang. She learned that even if her crest feathers floated away, her happiness and friends made her shine the most. The grateful little giraffe. Once upon a time in a sunny jungle, there lived a little giraffe named Jiggy. Jiggy had a long neck, big bright eyes, and a heart full of kindness. Every day, she loved to help her friends. She would reach the juiciest leaves for the hungry monkeys and pick the prettiest flowers for the shy little bird. Jiggy felt happy when she could help others. One day, Jiggy noticed that her friend Ellie the elephant looked sad. "What's wrong, Ellie?" asked Jiggy. Ellie sighed. "I lost my favorite blue ball in the river and I can't reach it." Jiggy thought for a moment and then said, "Don't worry, I'll help you." With her long neck, Jiggy stretched out and carefully grabbed the ball from the water. Ellie's eyes sparkled with joy. "Thank you, Jiggy. You're the best," she exclaimed. Jiggy felt a warm glow in her heart. Later that day, all of Jiggy's friends gathered together. The monkey, the bird, and even Ellie wanted to show their gratitude. They planned a surprise party for Jiggy to say thank you for her kindness. When Jiggy arrived at the party, she was so surprised. "Wow, you all did this for me," she gasped. Her friends shouted, "Yes, we love you, Jiggy. Thank you for always helping us." Jiggy felt so grateful. She realized that when you help others, they want to help you too. That day, Jiggy learned that gratitude makes the jungle a happier place. The happy smile of Henry. Once upon a time, in a bright blue sky, there lived a little son named Henry. Henry was no ordinary son. He had the biggest, happiest smile you could ever imagine. Every morning, he would wake up, stretch his rays, and shine his golden light all around. The clouds would giggle and dance, and the birds would sing sweet songs just for him. One day, Henry noticed his friends, the clouds, looking a little gray and gloomy. "What's wrong, my fluffy friends?" he called out, his smile shining even brighter. The clouds sighed, "We don't feel very happy today." Henry knew just what to do. "Let's play a game," he suggested, his voice sparkling with excitement. Henry gathered all the clouds and said, "Let's race to the rainbow." The clouds perked up, their grayness melting away. Off they zoomed, fluffy and fast, racing through the sky. Henry cheered them on, his laughter ringing like a melody. Before long, the clouds were laughing and playing, their beautiful white fluff shining brightly in Henry's golden glow. When they reached the rainbow, the clouds swirled around it, creating a beautiful display of colors. "Look at us," they exclaimed, feeling happy and bright. Henry's smile grew even wider, for he knew that happiness is best when shared with friends. From that day on, the clouds never forgot to play with Henry and spread their joy across the sky. The Little Prince of Pretend. Leo was no ordinary boy. He was the little prince of pretend. Every morning, he put on his shiny starry cape and his golden paper crown. With his brave stuffed lion by his side, he set off to explore his magical kingdom. In his world, a simple cardboard box could become a mighty castle, and a stick could turn into a powerful magic wand. Today, Leo decided to search for the rainbow butterfly, a special friend who only appeared to those who truly believed in magic. As Leo tiptoed through fields of make-believe flowers, he heard a soft, fluttering sound. Could it be the rainbow butterfly? He followed the gentle flutter, imagining the wings shimmering with all the colors of the rainbow. Along the way, he greeted friendly talking trees and danced with giggling garden gnomes. Every step was an adventure, and Leo's heart filled with joy and excitement because in his kingdom, anything could happen. Finally, Leo reached the sparkling rainbow river where the rainbow butterfly loved to play. He held out his hand, and with a twinkle of magic, the butterfly landed softly on his finger. It glittered brighter than ever, filling the sky with sparkling colors. Leo laughed happily, knowing that his kingdom was full of wonder and that with a little pretend, every day could be magical and bright. Six Little Rabbits' Big Hop. Once upon a time, in a meadow filled with colorful flowers, lived 6 little rabbits: Rosie, Benny, Leela, Max, Tilly, and Oliver. They loved to hop and play together every day. One sunny morning, the rabbits gathered under a big oak tree. "Today is the day," said Rosie, her ears bouncing with excitement. "We're going to practice for the great meadow hop." The others cheered, their little tails wiggling in delight. The rabbits hopped and practiced all morning long. They took turns leaping over a small log. Benny was the first to try. He wiggled his nose, took a big breath, and bounce. He soared over the log like a little rocket. Everyone clapped their paws and cheered, "Hooray for Benny!" Next up was Leela, who did a graceful twist in the air as she jumped. "Wow, Leela, you're so fancy," shouted Tilly. As the sun climbed higher, the rabbits grew tired but excited. They gathered in a circle to rest. "What if we all hopped together?" suggested Max. "That would be super fun." Everyone agreed, their eyes sparkling with joy. So they practiced counting together. 1, 2, 3, hop! And they all jumped in unison. It was a big hop, and they landed in a pile of giggles and fluffy tails. Suddenly, a gentle breeze whispered through the meadow, and everyone felt a little magic in the air. "Let's hop all the way to the rainbow," exclaimed Oliver, pointing to a colorful arch in the sky. The rabbits took a deep breath and lined up, ready for the biggest hop of all. With hearts full of courage, they shouted, 1, 2, 3, hop! And off they went, soaring toward the rainbow. They hopped high and far, and it felt like they were flying. The world blurred around them, and they giggled with delight. Finally, they landed softly on a patch of grass under the rainbow. They looked at each other, eyes wide with wonder. "We did it!" they squealed. The 6 little rabbits jumped up and down, celebrating their big hop together. They realized that with teamwork, they could achieve anything they dreamed of. The Red Adventure of Ruby and Ryan. One sunny morning, Ruby and Ryan, 2 little red fox siblings, found a shiny red balloon tied to a tree in the middle of the red forest. The balloon shimmered in the sunlight and seemed to hum softly with magic. Curious and excited, Ruby reached out and touched it, and suddenly the balloon lifted gently into the air, carrying the 2 foxes up into the sky. They giggled with delight as they floated over the treetops, seeing the forest from way up high. As they floated gently down, the balloon carried them to a sparkling clearing filled with red flowers and friendly red animals. A bright cardinal bird chirped a happy tune, and a tiny red ladybug landed softly on Ryan's nose. Ruby laughed and said, "Look, Ryan, the forest is full of red friends just like us." They played and danced with the animals, feeling the magic of the red forest all around them. Suddenly, the balloon glowed brighter and floated toward a big red oak tree with sparkling leaves. Ruby and Ryan saw a puzzle carved into the bark, shapes of stars, hearts, and circles all glowing red. They realized they had to touch the shapes in the right order to help the forest shine even more brightly. Working together, Ruby and Ryan tapped the shapes carefully, and the whole tree lit up like a glowing lantern, spreading warm red light everywhere. With the puzzle solved, the red forest came alive in bright reds and warm glows, and all the animals gathered to celebrate. Ruby and Ryan felt proud and happy. They had helped the forest sparkle like never before. As the sun began to set, the magical balloon gently floated them back home, where they stretched and yawned, dreaming of their next big adventure in the colorful world around them. The photo album of memories. Once upon a time, in a cozy little house, lived a girl named Lily. One sunny afternoon, she found an old photo album tucked away on a shelf. Curious, she opened it, and to her surprise, the pictures sparkled and twinkled. "Wow, what is this magic?" she exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. As Lily turned the pages, one photo popped out. It was of her first birthday party, filled with balloons and laughter. Suddenly, she was whisked away to that magical day. She saw her friends, balloons floating high, and yummy cake waiting to be eaten. "This is the best day ever," Lily giggled. With a flip of the page, Lily found another photo of a sunny picnic in the park. In an instant, she was surrounded by her family, a blanket full of yummy sandwiches and playful squirrels. "Let's share our sandwiches," Lily laughed as the squirrels danced around her. Finally, Lily turned to a photo of her playing with her puppy in the backyard. The moment she stepped into the picture, Puppy wagged its tail and barked happily. Together, they chased butterflies and rolled in the grass. "You're my best friend," she said, hugging her puppy tightly. After all the adventures, Lily smiled as she closed the photo album. "What a wonderful journey through my memories," she said. "Every picture is a treasure that makes me smile." And from that day on, Lily knew that memories were magical, just like her special photo album. The Kicking Crew of Katie and Kyle. Once upon a sunny day, in a park full of laughter, there lived two best friends, Katie and Kyle. They loved to kick their bright, colorful soccer balls. With each kick, their imagination soared high. "Let's see how far we can kick our balls," Katie exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Kyle nodded eagerly, and they both took a few steps back. With all their might, they kicked their balls as hard as they could, sending them bouncing into a world of wonder. Suddenly, their soccer balls rolled into a magical forest. The trees were tall and colorful, and the flowers danced in the gentle breeze. "Wow, look at this place," Kyle shouted. Just then, a friendly squirrel scampered over, holding a tiny soccer ball. "Hi, I'm Sammy. Do you want to play with us?" The friends cheered, and together they kicked the balls back and forth, laughing and having the best time ever. Just then, they heard a wise voice from above. It was Ollie the Owl. "To play and have fun, you must work as a team," he hooted. Katie and Kyle looked at each other and nodded. They decided to work together to pass their balls through a ring made of vines that Ollie had magically created. With teamwork and a mighty kick, they sent their balls flying through the ring. Hooray! They cheered, and the forest echoed with their joy. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with colors of orange and pink, Katie and Kyle knew it was time to go home. They waved goodbye to Sammy and Ollie, promising to return and play again. With their hearts full of happiness and new friendships, they kicked their balls all the way back home, laughing and reminiscing about their magical day. And from that day on, they became the kicking crew of Katie and Kyle, ready for more adventures together. The Winter Wonderland of William and Wendy. One chilly morning, William and Wendy woke up to find their backyard sparkling with fresh, fluffy snow. The world looked like a shiny white blanket, inviting them to explore. They bundled up in their warmest clothes, with scarves wrapped snugly and mittens ready for adventure. As they stepped outside, the snow crunched beneath their boots, and the air tingled with magic. Suddenly, a little snow bunny with twinkling eyes hopped out to greet them, its fur shimmering like tiny diamonds. Excited, William and Wendy followed the snow bunny across the snowy field. It led them to a hill that gleamed with icy crystals, perfect for sliding. They took turns zooming down the hill, laughing as the cold wind tickled their faces. Nearby, a friendly snow owl with sparkling feathers watched over them, hooting softly. The children built a snow fort together, stacking snow bricks carefully while the snow bunny and owl cheered them on. Their fort shimmered in the sunlight, a castle made of snow and friendship. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with pink and orange hues, William and Wendy snuggled inside their snow fort. The snow bunny curled up beside them, and the snow owl perched close by. They felt warm and happy, knowing they had found a winter wonderland full of magic and new friends. With sleepy smiles, they promised to return to their snowy playground again soon, ready for more adventures in the sparkling world they had discovered together. The little Dickcissels call. In a sunny meadow full of flowers and tall green grass lived a little Dickcissel named Dilly. He was very small, with bright yellow feathers and a tiny black mask around his eyes. Every morning, Dilly would try to sing his special call, but sometimes it sounded a little different from the other birds. Still, Dilly sang with all his heart, hoping someone would hear his cheerful song. One day, as Dilly sang his call, a curious rabbit stopped to listen. The rabbit twitched its nose and smiled. "What a funny little song," said the rabbit. Dilly felt shy but happy someone liked his call. Then, a busy bumblebee buzzed by and danced around Dilly, saying, "Your song makes me want to dance." More animals began to gather, all drawn by Dilly's unique tune. As Dilly's song floated over the meadow, butterflies fluttered in colorful wings, and a wise old turtle slowly came out from his shell to enjoy the music. Dilly felt proud and excited. "My call is special," he thought. "It can bring friends together and make everyone smile." The meadow was filled with happy sounds and laughter, all because of the little Dickcissel's bright, cheerful call. the friendly white-throated sparrow's chirp. In the heart of a bright, green forest lived a little white-throated sparrow named Sunny. Sunny loved to sing cheerful songs every morning, and her chirp was so happy that it made all the animals smile. Rabbits hopped closer, squirrels stopped their busy climbing, and even the shy deer peeked out from behind the trees to listen to Sunny's friendly chirp. The forest felt full of joy whenever Sunny sang her special song. One day, the forest grew very quiet. The wind whispered softly, but no animals played or sang. Sunny was puzzled and chirped her happiest tune, but the animals didn't come. She decided to fly around and find out why the forest was so still. As she fluttered from tree to tree, Sunny saw that her friends were feeling sad because they forgot how to have fun together. Sunny knew just what to do. Sunny chirped a new song, soft and sweet, that reminded everyone of all the fun they had playing hide-and-seek, chasing butterflies, and sharing berries. One by one, the animals' ears perked up, and smiles returned to their faces. The rabbits started hopping, the squirrels began climbing again, and even the shy deer stepped into the sunshine. Sunny's chirp brought back the laughter and joy, filling the forest with happy sounds once more. The little finch's beak. Fizz the little finch woke up to a sunny morning in the big forest. He looked at his reflection in a shiny puddle and noticed something different. His beak was longer and curvier than his friends. Fizz wondered if his beak could do special things. With a cheerful chirp, he decided to find out what made his beak so unique. Fizz flew to the berry bush where his friends loved to eat red, juicy berries. But the berries were hidden behind thick leaves, and the other birds couldn't reach them easily. Using his special beak, Fizz gently moved the leaves aside and picked the berries with ease. All the birds cheered, and Fizz felt proud and happy. Next, Fizz met Sammy the squirrel, who was trying to open a tiny acorn but couldn't crack it. Fizz tried using his beak to gently tap the acorn and crack. The acorn split open. Sammy clapped his paws in delight and shared the acorn's seeds with Fizz. They laughed and played together under the tall trees. As the sun began to set, Fizz flew back to his flock, feeling happy and proud. His beak was not just different, it was special. It helped him find tasty berries, make new friends, and have wonderful adventures. All the birds gathered around, listening to Fizz's stories about his big day. The journey of Harry and Hannah. One sunny morning, Harry the little hedgehog woke up feeling extra curious. His best friend, Hannah the bright blue bird, chirped happily beside him. "Let's go on an adventure," Hannah said with a flutter of her wings. So off they went, stepping carefully through the soft moss and crunchy leaves of the whispering woods. The trees seemed to sway and hum as if welcoming their brave explorers. Harry and Hannah giggled, excited to see what magical things they might find. As they wandered deeper, they spotted a sparkling stream that twinkled like 1,000 tiny stars. Harry dipped his paw in the cool water while Hannah sang a happy tune. Around the stream, colorful flowers giggled and wiggled their petals when the breeze tickled them. Harry and Hannah laughed and danced with the flowers, feeling the joy of the forest's magic all around them. They knew this was only the start of their wonderful journey. Suddenly, Hannah spotted something amazing, a shining rainbow bridge stretching from one side of the forest to the other. "Look, Harry, let's cross it," she chirped excitedly. Together, they stepped onto the glowing bridge, feeling it shimmer beneath their feet. As they reached the middle, a treasure chest appeared, sparkling with all the colors of the rainbow. Inside, they found friendship bracelets made of twinkling leaves and tiny stars, a special gift to remind them of their magical journey forever. The friendly piglet's Oink. In a sunny meadow where the grass tickled his tiny feet, Pippin the piglet woke up with a big happy oink. His oink was special. It wasn't loud or scary, but warm and friendly, like a cozy hug. As the morning sun shined bright, Pippin trotted out to explore, eager to share his joyful oink with the world. The flowers swayed and the butterflies danced as the friendly piglet's oink echoed softly through the meadow. As Pippin wandered along a winding path, he met Bella the bunny, who was nibbling on a bright orange carrot. When Pippin gave his friendly oink, Bella's ears perked up and she smiled wide. "What a happy sound," she said. Together, they hopped and oinked, making music with their voices. Soon, a little duckling named Daisy waddled over, quacking a cheerful tune to join their new song. The meadow felt alive with laughter and melody. With every friendly oink, Pippin's happiness grew bigger and brighter. He and his friends played hide-and-seek behind blooming bushes and chased butterflies that twinkled like little stars. When the sun began to dip low, the animals gathered under a big tree, sharing stories and soft oinks, quacks, and hops. Pippin felt proud that his simple oink had brought so much fun and friendship to the meadow. The silly sounds of Sally and Sam. One bright morning, Sally and Sam found a shiny whistle lying on the soft green grass. When they blew into it, out came the silliest sound, like a mix between a giggle and a honk. Excited, they started making more silly sounds, laughing as they tried to copy animal noises and funny tunes. Their silly sounds echoed through the park and made the flowers seem to dance in the breeze. As they walked down the path, Sally made a buzzing bee sound, and Sam flapped his arms like a bird. Soon, a little bluebird joined in, chirping along happily. The dog in the park barked a funny tune, and even the squirrel tapped a tiny rhythm on a tree trunk with its paws. Sally and Sam couldn't stop laughing at how all the silly sounds were turning into a joyful song. At the park bench, Sally and Sam decided to play a game. Who could make the silliest sound? Sally made a funny honking noise that sounded like a silly horn, and Sam tried a wobbling, wiggly whistle that made everyone giggle. The magic whistle sparkled in their hands, and the sounds seemed to float up into the sky like bubbles. Everyone nearby stopped to listen and soon joined in the silliness. By the end of the day, Sally and Sam had filled the whole park with silly sounds and laughter. They learned that making funny noises wasn't just fun for them. It made everyone feel happy and friendly. With the magical whistle safely tucked away, they promised to share their silly sounds again soon. And as the sun set, the park hummed with the warmest, happiest sounds of friendship. The New Year's Eve of Wonder. It was New Year's Eve, and Mia was bundled up in her warmest coat, playing in the snow outside her cozy house. Suddenly, she noticed something shimmering behind the big oak tree, a glowing door covered in sparkling stars. Curious and feeling brave, Mia tiptoed closer and gently opened the magical door. To her surprise, it led to a world filled with twinkling lights, colorful snowflakes dancing in the air, and friendly creatures waiting to say hello. As Mia stepped through the door, she met Leela, a tiny star fairy with shimmering wings who fluttered happily around her. Leela introduced Mia to her friends, a fluffy white snow bunny that bounced softly on the snow, and a cheerful snowman wearing a blue hat and scarf who waved hello. They invited Mia to join their special New Year's Eve celebration, where everyone shared wishes and laughter beneath the sparkling sky. Together, they danced and sang as the clock ticked closer to midnight. Mia felt the magic of the moment filling her heart with hope and joy. When the big clock struck 12, the sky exploded in colorful fireworks, lighting up the stars all around. Mia made a special wish for kindness and happiness to fill the whole world in the new year. With a warm hug from her new friends, Mia knew this New Year's Eve was the most wonderful one she had ever had. The magic of Friendship Forest. Once upon a time, in a magical place called Friendship Forest, lived a little squirrel named Sammy. Sammy loved to gather acorns and play among the trees, but he was a bit shy. One sunny day, while he was hopping around, he heard a sweet voice singing. Curious, Sammy followed the lovely sound deeper into the forest. As Sammy reached a sunny clearing, he saw a brave bunny named Bella, singing with joy. Bella had the fluffiest white fur and long ears that danced as she sang. "Hello," Bella called. "Want to join me? We can go on an adventure." Sammy felt a flutter in his heart. Could he be brave enough to make a new friend? Sammy took a deep breath and said, "Yes, I would love to." Bella smiled wide and said, "Great, let's find the friendship flower. It only blooms when friends work together." Sammy's eyes sparkled with excitement. Together, they set off on their adventure, hopping and skipping through the forest. Along the way, they met a wise old owl who said, "To find the friendship flower, you must help each other along the way." Sammy and Bella nodded and promised to work together. They climbed over logs, jumped across streams, and shared their snacks. Every time they helped each other, the forest sparkled a little more. Finally, after a day of fun, they found a beautiful flower glowing in the moonlight. It was the friendship flower. It opened up, showering them with sparkling light. Sammy and Bella hugged each other tightly, knowing their friendship had made the magic happen. "We did it together," they cheered. From that day forward, Sammy and Bella became the best of friends. They played together every day in Friendship Forest, sharing laughter and adventures. And every time they saw the friendship flower, they remembered how wonderful it was to have a friend by your side. The strong arm of Alex. Alex was a happy little boy with a very special arm. His right arm was super strong, much stronger than anyone else's. He loved to use it to help his friends. One sunny morning, Alex went outside to play. He saw his friend Mia trying to reach a bright red kite stuck high in a tree. "Don't worry, Mia," said Alex, smiling. With his strong arm, he stretched up and carefully grabbed the kite. Mia clapped her hands and said, "Thank you, Alex, you're so strong." Next, Alex heard a little bark. It was his dog, Bingo, who got his favorite ball stuck under a big wooden bench. The ball was just out of reach. Alex smiled and said, "I can help, Bingo." Using his strong arm, he gently slid it under the bench and grabbed the ball. Bingo wagged his tail happily and gave Alex a joyful lick on the cheek. "Good job, Alex." Later, Alex spotted his friend Leo trying to fly a kite, but the wind was too strong and the kite got tangled in some branches. Leo looked worried. Alex walked over and said, "Let me try." Carefully, he used his strong arm to untangle the kite. "Wow, Alex, you're amazing," said Leo. Alex felt proud but said, "I'm just happy to help." Then they both ran to fly the kite high up in the blue sky. As the day ended, Alex sat on a bench, feeling happy. His strong arm helped so many friends today, but more than strength, Alex knew that kindness was the most important power of all. And with a big smile, he said, "I'll always use my strong arm to help others and make everyone smile." The sun set with warm orange colors, shining on Alex's happy face.